Um, no, I didn't want it to access your inventory. I want your eggs. Um, let's call them over. Which what, J? Just get him to walk over a little. No, it's you, J. Come on. Walk away from your precious, precious eggs. Okay. Now you can hold still. And it looks like the dodos, yeah, they're egg and poop making machines. So that's really nice. The other thing is if we can if we can train one of those oviraptors, we can kind of like fence it in with the dodos, and they'll just go around picking up eggs for you. So they're like automatic egg picker uppers, which saves you a lot of time having to go around and get the eggs. So, but yeah, that claw, very mysterious thing. I'm not quite sure what animal it could have been. And unfortunately, thanks to my teacher being, wanting to clean stuff up, we'll never know. I was really bummed about that, actually, because I had a whole grand plan to take it that weekend out to a wildlife center and have them ID it for me and all that. But I don't know. It was really, really large, though. I mean, maybe a bald eagle, but I mean, it would have been like a record-sized bald eagle. I think it just seems like that was exceedingly large for a bald eagle claw. Other mysterious stuff. So yeah, we might as well keep talking while we wait out the rain. The again, this was at a Boy Scout camp. We were out in the woods, and we were doing like what we do. And when you have basically at scout camp, like you'll spend the afternoon kind of, oh, we don't want to turn off the fire. I just want to get the meat out of it and light it back up. And we light it up. There's a big dinosaur right there. That'd be great. Like that whole cliche of, oh my god. I should also set my dodos to passive because I don't want them to be stupid and try to... How do I enable passive for semicolon? Okay. That way they aren't going to just kind of be dumb and end up attacking us, or not attacking us, but attacking something that attacks us. I want them to just kind of sit by and watch so that hopefully they won't be a target for anything. Most animals don't go for dodos because they're not much meat. I think the dinosaurs look at the potential meat they get out of their prey and choose based off of that. I could be completely wrong though, especially because of the fact they tend to favor me over anything else. I guess I smell like delicious bacon or something of that nature. But, so yeah, other mysterious things I found in the woods. So keep in mind, Florida doesn't really have much in the way of metal or metal ores. So it's really strange that I found all kinds of obvious metal ores out in the wilderness. Now, I have a theory for one of them, but another one, I have absolutely no clue about it. And unfortunately, my whole rock collection, it's back at my parents' place. Otherwise, I put up a little picture of some of the stuff I found, but maybe I'll be able to do that later. I don't know. But yeah, so one of the ones I found, it looked like slag. So essentially, slag is like runoff when people are welding, but it was a metal that didn't rust, so I assume it was maybe iron or steel. I tested it with a magnet, though, and it didn't seem to really respond to magnetism, so it makes you think it might not have been a, in that metal group, in the iron, or an iron alloy. So, I'm not quite sure, but basically, it could maybe aluminum. I don't know. It's kind of a mystery, but yeah, an egg and some of that too. That's good. Let's get that egg. Come on. Let me pick up. I wish that it was a little easier to pick these eggs up. There we go. But yeah, it was bright silver in color. It had what you would say is high luster. And it kind of did look like a nugget of something. Like if you ever seen a gold nugget, and it was a large chunk. So I just found that out in the woods. So I almost wonder if they had like a pipe system they're putting in or something, and that had been left over from the welding process. I don't know, but it's like weird to find that out in the woods in Florida. It's just kind of a mysterious thing. So there was that, but then the really weird one, right? Again, didn't seem to want to respond to any kind of um, any kind of magnet. But how do I describe it? On the back, it was a very flat piece of metal. It almost looked like it had originally been a sheet of metal of some kind, about a quarter-inch thick. And on the back, it really resembled a hematite. Like, I mean, how, I don't know if you've ever seen hematite, but it's like essentially a dark red color and almost like foamy bubbles. And then on the opposite side, it was all cratered. But not in a way as if it had been bubbles, in a way as if it had been laid down and kind of sagged a bit while it melted. It's difficult to describe, but I'll try drawing like a picture of it. But anyway, this I was really confused by it. I found out in the middle of a baseball field. Um, no obvious like construction or anything nearby, and it also it didn't look like the other bit of metal I found out in the woods looked like slag, and it could have just been maybe there was a welding project once upon a time and they left it out there. It could have been leftovers. This didn't look like any kind of construction project. The closest thing it looked like was maybe like a rusty pipe, but it didn't have any kind of shape like a rusty pipe, anything of that nature. It was quite confusing actually, and I ended up taking it to a friend who he's a astronomy professor and he studies meteorites because kind of my feeling was, well, it's out in Florida where you don't really get metal deposits, and it was out in a field of grass just laying on top of it. Maybe it could have been a meteorite, but I took it in to show him, and he was completely confused by it too, because he couldn't place what kind of metal it was, but it definitely wasn't a meteorite. There are certain chemical call signs that almost all meteorites have, and it lacked those. Its cleavage pattern, well, I know, haha, cleavage, but no, the crystalline structure didn't really resemble anything. It's just a complete mystery metal. So he's an expert on meteorites though, and he said, well, for all we know, it could be kind of runoff or who knows, but he was not able to identify it whatsoever, and I just destroyed my natural wall. Oops. Oh well. It's not the end of the world. We're encumbered, I think. Yeah, our weight's getting a little high. But yeah, so just kind of mystery objects. The last thing I found that was kind of strange was it was a footprint, and I found this hiking on a beach. So it was relatively fresh. It must have been laid out in between the tides. But, I'll put up a little picture of this footprint. It's strange. It didn't make much sense. For one thing, it kind of looked like it had quite a few toes. 7 of them, actually. It also, like, the closest footprint it resembled was a human child's, because it had a really big, like a big, large toe, and didn't have any claws. And then, like, several other little toes, but there was no heel print. It was almost as if a 7-toed person was walking on their tippy toes across the... And I found this in the morning. We used to go out in the morning to the beach because there were actually sea turtles they would hatch near my home. If you stop my dodos... Okay. Go away. Oh, that bouncing is annoying. I just want to make sure that they have some food. Okay. You look okay. You look alright. You have some food. What about you? 20. I just want to keep them well fed. They're my only surviving pets, so. The only thing so far, let's take the narcoberries off and give you like half a stack of the Amars, because those like Amar berries. So. But yeah, I'll draw a picture of this footprint, and it's strange because it had to have been out there in between the high and the low tides, otherwise it would have been washed away. So whatever it was, had been walking around like early morning, because we were out there like 7 a.m. trying to see if we could spot some sea turtles hatching. The only animal that even remotely has a footprint like that out there are possums. Now, if you've seen a possum footprint, they're quite strange. They almost have like you can mistake them for human footprints in a way, because they do almost have this like grasping thumb situation going on. But a possum, it would have to be an enormous possum to leave a footprint that big. And they also tend to, you see, like they'll have tail drag, and because they drag their tail behind them, so typically possum tracks will have kind of tail dragging. And the gait of this, it didn't really look like a possum gait. It was wider. And there were only like 3 of these footprints lined up. The rest had all kind of sort of washed away. What are you? Oh, it's a monkey. Hi, friend. Yeah, don't worry, I'm not... A little monkey. I'm surprised they didn't go with a lemur for, if they want to have kind of a lemur-like pet. Monkeys are not all that primitive, you know? The fur looks so weird on him. I'm just going down here to get some water, kind of assess. I'm hoping to find like a Triceratops that might be a little bit knocked out. I mean, not knocked out, but stuck. Oh, another compy. You stay away. You stay away. Actually, I'm going to hunt him. Because I want his delicious... Oh, he's going to run in the water, and a piranha will probably grab him. I'm just kind of watching. I see some animals off in the distance running. Let's not go to... See, that side of the island starts to get a little bit dangerous, so we're not going to head down that way. At least not yet. But yeah, I'll draw a picture of this track. Maybe someone will be able to identify it. Apart from that, maybe a bobcat could have done it, but... You know, it's just kind of mysterious. Strange things that you find in the wilds. So, poison. Okay. What did that? Oh, Meganura attacked me. Okay, when you first kill something you can't tame, you'll get this. Otherwise, you have to tame it. So, is there another one? Oh, come on. Let's find those bodies, because these guys will probably have lots of chitin. And chitin... Oh, stop it! They buzz your head. That's annoying. Oh, man. A compy, go away. Jeez. You had a bad day. Okay. Let's get our tools back. Now, I think I killed 2 of those. Now, one way to get your stamina back in a pinch, and I should put this on my hotbar because we'll probably need it eventually, are stim berries. It's definitely something that I kind of want this torch to be back here and the stim berries here. You kind of, like, eventually you can upgrade that to stimulants, but it's good to leave that on your hotbar in case you do get poisoned by, like, a scorpion and need to run away. So, anywho, I think we've been going for a pretty good time. See, I'm gonna keep upping that. We'll end it on spanking some engrams. I'm gonna get a bed. I'm sick of having to build more sleeping bags every time I need one, and that'll set. I can put that in my little my base, and it'll have that set for life. So, anywho, it's been a pretty good episode. Well, I mean, yeah, we haven't made much progress, unfortunately. It's just it's a matter of dealing with just all the hassle of like getting overwhelmed by these dinosaurs. So I feel like though, I mean, we got a base built. That's definitely a solid start. And ultimately, what I like to do though is work on taming something like a Triceratops. I think that'd be a good move at this point in the game. Especially, I mean, we're getting up there in level 8. At level 10, I believe, you can get a Triceratops saddle. It might be 10 or 15. And as soon as you can get a saddle for one of those guys, they're actually quite good. They're quite good things to have. More rain. Well, this is nice. It'll top off our water supply. So, what's this dinosaur? Okay. We could also think about taming one of these Parasaurolophus little fusses. The problem is that you kind of need trank arrows because they move so quickly. It's hard to keep up with them. You can kind of do persistence hunting, which it's a strategy where you kind of follow the prey item until it collapses, but it's kind of tricky to do that. So, but yeah, we had some good times. We talked about just mysterious things that you could come across out there in nature, unexplained oddnesses. So it's always interesting, and yeah, I got a couple more actual like ghost stories and stuff we'll go over, but we gotta ease into it. I don't want to like use all my stories up in like 1 or 2 nights, and then leave people going like, well, that's I'm consider me like underwhelmed, so. Anyway, I think that, let's see. Now the beds, yeah, they require a ton of wood, thatch, and especially hide. So we'll be working on that, but we'll go ahead and get ourselves some gloves and some shoes just to complete our set here. So, but once we get, what made that noise? Okay, I thought I heard like a growl. Well, no one's panicking, so I think we're okay. Sheesh. Scary stuff. Anyway, and yeah, once we get a little bed going, I'll jam it into there, and I probably will stretch this out a little bit. It's tinier than I thought it would end up being, so. Anyway, just grr in my hut, and it's a leaky roof. So, oh man. What am I doing? Pooping inside the house. That's no good. That's rude. So, anyways, I think that's a good stopping point. We've recorded quite a lot today, and we made some progress. I mean, our dodos are in a relatively safe neighborhood now, and we have a little bit of a house going on, so, can't complain too much. Oh, safe practice is to close your door. When it's closed, on a PvP server, say, if you have stuff inside of there, they have to destroy the hut to get in, and even like this kind of thatch stuff is semi-permanent. It takes quite a few swings to get through that, unless you have like an upgraded tool. So that's just something came on. Ooh, another egg. We definitely want as many eggs as we can find. So the dodos, like I said, you get a male and a couple females. They can produce. They're quite good at it. So. We'll definitely have to make use of those dodo eggs. You can't just eat them, but I almost want to save it for recipes over that. So, anyway, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, see you guys next episode of Ark Survival Evolved. Don't forget, like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate y'all tuning in, and yeah, sorry it was kind of a I don't know if it was quite the most exciting episode. It was more like a housekeeping one, but now that I've put some stuff away in storage, I'm starting to feel a little confident. I think next time we're going to try and tame one of the bigger dinosaurs. So, look forward to that. Anyway, peace out.